Regan Slaymaker for Notjustboxing. I have the pleasure to be joined by the European and WBC mandatory challenger at super lightweight, Dalton Smith. Dalton, how are you today, mate?
I'm all good, mate. How are you?
All good. I mean, workout done. Lots of interviews. I thought I'd change it up today. Obviously, we've done an interview about Germain on April 19th, Canada Medical Arena. All the good stuff in there. But I want to rewatch 3 of your previous fights as well. The first one I want to start off with is Nathan Bennett fight camp. I mean, my first one, whilst this is playing, what do you remember from this fight?
I remember from this fight was this before the Apple Yard? Yeah, this was before the Apple Yard. I remember this for me. We actually made the fight on Twitter. Nathan Bennett called me out. It was challenge accepted. Didn't even watch him, and I just went, yeah, fight's done. Anyway, blah, good kid, Nathan. But this was like the first step up for me. Yeah. Where someone was coming to really beat me, and obviously. Yeah, just I remember I thought, you know what, I've got to perform here, and you know, it gave me something to think about. But you know, I probably got one of my highlight reel knockouts, and one what gets played many times.
That's the thing. That's one thing that I was going to ask. It's coming up in a minute, but your punch selection in this fight, I think, is excellent as well. But in a bit, you land that double jab backhand. It's one of the first kind of combos that I've learned when I've started boxing, but. You do it in it's such a basic combination, but you made it so effective in this fight, landing your one of the career best knockouts as well.
Yeah. Do you know what it was for me? What I learned in this is, you get your knockouts from not trying to knock them out. Nathan, he can punch. He carries power, and I had to be switched on. But the fight I learned was. It was my first 8-rounder. Don't try and knock someone out. The knockouts come when you don't try, and it was one of my best knockouts.
I think it's here as well. Yeah. I mean, would you say this was kind of your coming out party almost? This is like you said, this is the knockout that got shared everywhere. This is the fight that had a good build up, like you said, call out on Twitter. Would you say this is your coming out party?
Yeah, I'd have to say so, because obviously I think I'd stopped everyone bar one up to that, but people are like, oh. Well, we don't know how good he really is until he fights someone who's gonna test him, and I proved this, and this was in Eddie's Garden, so yeah, everyone was excited about the whole event and stuff. So yeah, it was a good fight to propel my career.
It definitely was as well. The next one I want to talk about is Ray Moylet. I was a paying customer this night.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I'm not going to give you money back.
No, I think I actually bought the ticket off Maxi Hughes. So if anyone I'm sending the invoice to, it's Maxi. But I mean, this is another fight, like you were saying with Nathan Bennett. I feel like this was the next step up of the step ups, if that makes sense. It was obviously was this one of your first 10-rounders?
It was my. Yeah, one of. I think I'd had a 10-rounder before this.
The English title?
It would have been the English title, but obviously didn't go the distance. I fought out in Austria. That was my first 10-rounder there. But Ray Moylet, obviously great amateur, great professional, and I knew I couldn't overlook this opponent. Another great guy, and like you said, made me switch on in the fight, and he brought the best out in me.
From what I remember as well, he talked a good name in the lead up to this fight as well, didn't he? And kind of was a bit like, I think the low blow comes up in a minute as well. Obviously, it wasn't intentional by any means, but so this happens, right? Obviously, they give him some time to recover, but I want to see what's going through your mind, because you see your face here. Yeah, I feel like you're shocked in that moment. What is going through your mind at that point?
Obviously, it was like, obviously I had no warning before. Straight away 2 points, but obviously it weren't intentional. It was a slip, he let in and it went. But I was like, right, no body shots, no body shot. No, in fact, it wasn't even a body shot. It was a hook. It was like a screw, obviously leaning in there, but obviously it landed low. So I knew I had to be switched on. Make sure there was nothing stupid, because another point I'd have been disqualified. Yeah,
which is what I think the ref made it
very clear, very clear
in there as well. But this is the stoppage, so you've dropped him for the first time. I think Pearson there is telling you to calm down right there. I mean, it shows a testament to you that you kind of got through that. How hard is it to not lose your head in there, to remain as focused as you did to then get this stoppage as well?
It's then again, it's like I've got 10 rounds. You're not going to go in there and blast everyone out, because when you do, the stoppages don't come. So it's like, use the rounds, just pick away, chip away, and the stoppages will come. But you know, I do think it was a great call by Paki in the corner, and yeah, but again, another great learning fight for me.
It definitely was as well, and I think my favourite win of your career, Dalton, is the Jose Zepeda fight here. I mean, just as we're watching the first couple of rounds here, I remember being in the gym, I think, you were sparring Anthony Yigit beforehand.
Yeah.
And you were saying this is the fight to give you that world ranking and things like that, but obviously now the fight's been... Did this fight give you kind of the fear almost, that the risk and reward that it was there in this fight?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you were scared, by the way, but...
Just it gives you the fear factor.
Yeah.
Think, right, I'm in a real fight here, but I knew, obviously, headlining in my hometown, you know, big fight. And obviously Zepeda is a dangerous man. You see his highlight knockout reels, you know, 2-time world title challenger. So I knew I had to be switched on, but I thought, you know, a big performance from me here, and you know, that's going to propel. And for me, that was the fight. The respect I got after that fight was massive. You know, not just from the UK, the people in the US. Like you said, the people in the US knew who I was then, and you know, I think it was a great fight.
It definitely, because they knew who Zepeda was as well, with the fights of Regis Prograis and everyone else as well. But one thing, rewatching this, the backhand, you're kind of offsetting him. Like, it wasn't really, obviously you were offsetting him with the jab in this fight, but it was the backhand as well. And then I think just before the stoppage, you stun him with an uppercut, which we'll see in a minute, I think. I'm very aware that we're pushed for time, so I don't want to take the mix. So I think it's coming up now.
Yeah.
You stun him with an uppercut, and it's kind of a testament of kind of what's to come. Here it is.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Kind of shake him to his boots there. I mean, and then the stoppage is coming in a minute now.
Yeah, it was the body shot.
Yeah, and you just dip down there. I mean, are you? As soon as you landed, did you know he weren't getting up there?
Do you know what it was? Obviously, I've watched Zepeda over the years. I thought I knew I'd landed the body shot. I knew it hurt him, but as I'm walking back, I think he's Jose Zepeda. He can take a body shot. He's going to get back up. But when the ref got to 6, 7, I thought, nah, he's done. And I just thought, you know what? That was the performance I needed. And like you say, he's a big name to beat. So yeah, it was probably one of my best wins in my career.
Definitely, I second that. Is that the one you hold in the most high regard, this win against?
Yeah, I'd have to say so. Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, massive.
It was an excellent fight. I mean, that was an insight into the career of Dalton Smith so far. Yeah. Next step, Mathieu Germain, April 19th, Cannon Medical Arena. Can they still get tickets, Dalton?
I think so. Yeah, I think they might be still, but very limited. You know, like I say, it's going to sell out fast, but you should still be able to get a couple. Yeah,
it definitely is. But if tune in live on DAZN. Dalton Smith, always a pleasure. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
Thank you, pal.
Smashed it, mate. Thank you very much for that.